Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which just premiered today. And I was a little surprised that they were making this because, I don't know, it just seems like a weird thing to do, And let's be honest, Christmas specials based on movie properties have a bit of a, let's say, complicated history among sci-fi and comic fans. Anyway, I'm going to do a review of this special. Before I do that, I just want to say you've clicked on the thumbnail, you're watching the video. Do me a favor and stick around for a little bit, will you? Don't just bail at this point, because if you do, it really tanks my viewer retention numbers and it actually hurts the channel. So stick around for a couple of minutes. If you want to fast forward to the middle and watch a couple of minutes there instead of watching from the beginning, that's cool. Just, you're here, just stay a bit, would you? Okay, so the holiday special opens with a cartoon sequence, and we see that Yondu got upset when Peter and Kraglin were trying to have a Christmas celebration aboard their ship back when Peter was still a kid, because, in his words, the Ravengers earn everything they get. They don't get gifts. And he freaks out and trashes their little Christmas tree. In the present, Peter and the Guardians are just living life, apparently in some kind of town that's not unlike Mos Eisley in Star Wars. And one of the aliens, where they are, asks Peter to help him work out a rock song about Christmas. And it was really weird because he learned everything he learned about Christmas from, I think, Rocket, who said he learned it from Kraglin, who learned it from Peter. So it was like third-hand Christmas knowledge. The song was really weird, but funny. Mantis, Drax, and Nebula talk about how Peter is really sad since Gamora's gone, and about how even though it's Christmas on Earth, he can't really enjoy it because it was ruined for him when he was young, and that he needs a gift, a special gift. So they decide to bring him Kevin Bacon as a Christmas gift because he's talked about how cool Kevin Bacon is all the time. So they go to Hollywood, and they're on Hollywood Boulevard. And it was funny because they misinterpret different costumed individuals that are hanging out there as the actual heroes and villains that they're dressed as. And we learn that GoBots killed Drax's cousin. And while all this is happening, people actually mistake Drax for Kratos, the god of war, which is hilarious. And people giving the two of them money to take pictures with them. And Drax eventually gets around to assaulting the GoBot. After getting their freak on at a bar in their search for Kevin Bacon, they find someone who provides them with a map to the stars' homes for free after Mantis uses her powers on the person. And via the map, they find Kevin Bacon's house. After Drax throws Mantis over the gate and Kevin won't talk to them over the intercom, they just break right into his house, or rather Drax does, right through a glass window, and try to nab him, but he runs. They, of course, hilariously give chase. Because Kevin called the cops, of course, they show up and confront Drax and Mantis and end up shooting Drax, but of course, it only tickles him. And then Mantis goes all kung fu on the cops. They catch up to Kevin Bacon, and Mantis uses her powers on him so that he wants to go with them. They then acquire a whole bunch of Christmas decorations and items and also bring them to Peter. Later, when they figure out that he's just an actor and not really this hero that Peter described him as, because, they probably misunderstood what Peter was telling them, they freak out because, as they see it, actors are awful and disgusting and horrible, which is funny because there's a couple of lines about that. It's actually kind of funny. So Mantis uses her powers to order Kevin Bacon to be Kevin Bacon, but as if he didn't suck, and as if he were an actual hero. They then string up a whole bunch of lights and play Christmas music and get Peter to come out to the center of the city. And with the help of Nebula and Rocket, they drop fake snow and cast a spotlight in the center of town. And Peter seems to love it. And then Groot wheels out a giant box on a hand truck, which of course contains Kevin Bacon. And Peter naturally freaks out, ordering Mantis to release Kevin from the trance, at which point he freaks out despite Peter telling him, look, I'm going to have them take you home. Don't freak out. But he freaks out anyway. Anyway, eventually he calms down and he's about to leave with Kraglin to go home, but Kraglin ends up explaining to him the reason that he was kidnapped, which is that he means so much to Peter. And Kevin decides to stay for a while. Then he performs a song. Nebula gives Rocket Bucky's arm for Christmas. I'm not sure how that happened. Mantis gives Drax a blow up inflatable elf because after trying to steal one from Kevin's house, he accidentally left it behind, but he really wanted it. Groot gives everyone little dioramas of scenes from the special, which was cool. Kevin then leaves for Earth and says he'll see them at Easter. And Nebula remarks that it may be the case that maybe not all actors are pieces of crap. Peter inquires of Mantis why they went to so much trouble to try to give him Kevin Bacon. And she explains that she felt bad that Yondo had ruined Christmas for him. And he explains that the truth is that Yondo later decided to embrace Christmas. And at this point, she tells him that she's his sister because Ego is her father as well. And he tells her that her being his sister is the greatest gift he could possibly have been given. Then the credits roll, but in an end credit scene, we see Cosmo the dog and Rocket trying to make a Christmas tree out of Groot. But Groot isn't really into it, so they accuse him of ruining Christmas, necessitating another special. And that was where it actually ended. So I thought this was a fun little special. The conversations between Mantis and Drax that take place throughout are very funny. And Kevin Bacon is really good in it. And in the end, Peter is very happy because Mantis is his half sister, which I think is really cool. And I was glad that in the end it sort of reversed course on Yondu because he, of course, dies in the films. But right before that, he kind of became kind of cool, at least to me. And so for them to have left it where he ruined Christmas for Peter would have sucked. So I'm glad they changed that by the end. I'm not sure why that book-ended part, at the beginning and end took place in cartoon form, but okay, it was still cool. So yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was a little cheesy, a little bit cheesy. And I think at 45 minutes, it was the right length because if it had, gone on, if they tried to make it more than it was, it would have turned bad. I think it would have been like, really? So I think it was the perfect length. And it was great to see the characters again. And the jokes about actors from actors were hilarious. So I really liked it. I think everyone should check it out. But that's really it. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back with another video soon. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life. And of course, happy holidays.